Today is a good day. Sorry about the shaky phone, but today's a good night, a good day. I've had such an incredible 24 hours of, I guess, spiritual realization or remembrance. I kind of want to say remembrance, but just, realization. And I just feel so happy and proud of myself. Like most of us, like all of us, we're all here on a spiritual journey, and that looks different for every single one of us, because God is infinite and we're each expressions of the divine. And so the way that I experience the return will be different for somebody else. And as such, though, there have been so many. I think just now a lot of us, including myself, have been just wondering, like, what the hell is going on and why am I here? I think more so than normal or usual. I've really been asking myself and God and my soul that question, because things are just not what I imagined life to be like. In the sense of, like, just the world, it's so, there's so much density, there's so much duality, there's so much polarization. I think for a lot of my, like, formative years, the first 20 years of my life, I was aware of current events, but there definitely was a covering around me. And like, I just grew up in a melting pot, I suppose. And I just thought things were not going to turn out the way they are right now. And it just has been causing me to just really pause and try to get understanding as to the role that I'm meant to play here in this current timeline or version of whatever game we're playing, right? And I finally got some clarity. Questions that I've been asking, not just, with the recent administration, but questions that I've had for the past 20 years with regard to my spiritual initiation. I finally got some clarity, and I cried last night. Not because I was sad, but because of, like, joy, overwhelm, gratitude, like, oh, I finally kind of understand. We're all here to serve God. Even though, like, the world tries to tell us that we're here to serve our ego, that's not why we're here. Our bodies are vessels and instruments of the Lord God, and our souls also, like, have, like, agreements and arrangements and contracts before our bodies are born. And we forget as human beings, right? And so for some people, I think for all people, but for me in particular, I have been on this path of initiation, and I really was thrown for a loop. I really was thrown for a loop and just confused. I've been very confused a lot of my adult life. Like, just what is happening? Like, why is this so painful? Why is this so hard? Like, why do I feel like I'm crying for 1,000 lives, not just, because of this one particular circumstance? And I've had, like, divine interruption or divine interference. Like, I've had my soul and other things break the veil to speak with me. And in my spiritual immaturity, sometimes I thought that those crossings or those messages were warnings and punishment. And now I just realized it was such an act of love, and like, and who am I that I would warrant in such, attention, And it must mean that I have like things to do here and I don't really think it's so much about doing. I think it's more so much about being and embodying and being a bridge. I talk about like twin flames and divine counterparts a little bit, like in my personal life. But if you know me, you know my story as an artist, you know that part of my life has guided a lot of my artistry and just the things that I like to create. And I just got so much clarity about what it means to be a bridge, to be able to not just know about the love of God, not just know about divine love, not just know about light and love, but to be invited and initiated to be able to hold it on earth through your body, through your vessel. It's beautiful. And I think, it's been really, really hard, like really, really hard trying to understand, because no one tells you like, this is what it is. Like maybe back in the day, like you were an apprentice and you had a teacher to guide you, or they had that kind of structure, but we don't have those kind of structures now. We have like the church, but I don't think the church really teaches you about the path of becoming, the path of the disciple and what that looks like, the sacrifice, the cost, and what it may even feel like to be, let's say, a disciple of Christ, like, again, not just in mind or in ego, but energetically. So anyway, something clicked on a deeper level last night and today, and I'm happy. I'm so happy, and I want to write a book, I think, to maybe potentially help other people. And I kind of don't like to do those kind of things either. That's why I make fiction work, because my understanding that I have now will only deepen in a month or next year and the year after. There's always a new layer of understanding. There's always another layer to the onion, right? So I'm always like kind of hesitant about doing those kinds of things, because I'm not like a master, I'm not a guru. I just want to maybe help someone else that may have questions. Maybe they can get to a level of understanding faster than I could. And it'd be called Divine Remembrance. And it would be about the initiation process that some of us may go through in this lifetime as children of God. I'm sure not, because I know I'm not the only person that has heard things, seen things, and not have anybody really to talk to about it. And then just kind of being like, well, I'm out here in the deep end trying to figure it out. But even at, I'm wondering, like, even at that age, I remember seeking teachers and books to read. And I don't think it's even about that anymore, like reading books. It really is about sitting and just remembering, and it's a process. There's never going to be a shortcut to your process, but it may be a tool that I can offer. So yeah, we'll see, because I'm just remembering and understanding, and it just is beautiful to see myself in a different way, in a deeper way, and to just really embrace that part of me of who I am. So that's it. I just wanted to document this day. What is it, August 6th? August 6th has been very powerful, very beautiful, and we'll see how this awareness, deepens and sharpens. I'm excited. This is my friend's shirt I remember borrowing this from her, I think in high school, I think it was her sister's shirt in the army or military somewhere, and I borrowed it in gym class. Leah, I think this is your sister's shirt.